of the FDS school. Okay, hopefully you enjoyed the maths and the English. Today we are talking about geography. Okay, as you're well aware, we've got players in the Premier League from all over the world, and we're going to teach you today a little bit about travel and the different countries that players come from. Okay, so today's topic is looking at travelling distances from country to country and who and which country are the players eligible to play for. So, to start with, we are going to ask you to pick a five-a-side team. So, we have, again, we would require you to draw a pitch. Looks like that. Okay, I want you to choose a goalkeeper, two defenders, two midfielders, so one midfielder and one striker. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and what we'd like you to do is pick those players, but they must all come from different countries. So my goalkeeper, my choice would be Kasper Schmeichel. Okay, anybody know where Kasper Schmeichel comes from? Good. Hopefully you all shouted out Denmark. So we're going to make this easy, and we're going to make it say we're going to play from capital to capital, because Kasper might not have been from Copenhagen, which is the capital of Denmark. So, and he definitely doesn't live in London because he lives in Leicester, obviously plays for the mighty Leicester City. And what we're going to look at is you need to put in the player, the goalkeeper. So everyone chose their goalkeeper. I chose Kasper Schmeichel. I then need to write in Kasper Schmeichel in here on my team. Kasper. I then need to write next to Kasper the capital of the country he plays for. So he's just won Player of the Year in Denmark. So he is from Denmark. So I'll put Denmark next to his name. Okay. I also then have to write the capital. This is really important. The capital, which is Copenhagen. Not really clear. Okay. And I put the capital, and I put the country as well. I then do that for every player. Okay, so I would choose my centre midfielder would have to be N'Golo Kante. Okay, for a centre midfielder, and it's indoor. Remember, you're playing indoor football. So have a think about what type of player you choose to be your centre midfielder, who's energetic, really lively, works really hard. Okay, to play indoor, and my centre midfielder will be N'Golo Kante. Okay, anyone know where N'Golo Kante comes from? Brilliant, good. Germany. Haha, only joking. France. So N'Golo Kante comes from France. So I would then write N'Golo Kante. I would then put France, and then the capital of France is Paris. So I then put Paris. So let's put Kante there, and let's put Paris, and don't forget to put France. So I do this for every single player, okay? Every single player, I put the country they play for and the capital of that country next to every player. Okay, this tournament that we're holding, the indoor tournament, is going to be in Can we see that? Okay, it's going to be in London. So we need all these players to fly to London, okay, and we need them all to travel to London to play in our indoor tournament. But we need to know how far away they are. Okay, because we need to know how many miles they've travelled. So referring a little bit back to our maths, but we want to try and work out where these countries are and how long they've got to travel. So some haven't got to travel too far. Some players you might choose, if you choose Messi, is going to come all the way from Argentina. So you've got to try and work out where they are. Even though Messi plays in Spain, we're looking at where their home nations and the country they play for. Okay, so you pick your five-a-side team. Okay, pick your players, pick the country they play, write the country they play for, write the capital. That's really important. The capital is the capital city of that country. Okay, and then we're going to work out how far. So I've done my homework, and Kasper Schmeichel needs to fly, I think, 790.6 miles. Okay, he needs to fly from Copenhagen to London. That's what he needs to travel. Okay, and I need to do that for every single player. Work out how long and how far they've got to travel. Okay, so that's what we're looking at today. Make our five-a-side team and then work out how many miles they've got to travel. So have a look on a globe, my lovely drawing of a globe. Okay, have a look at a globe, see how far that country is, and then maybe use Google and find out how many miles it is, okay, as well. So really getting to understand how far these players are travelling to play their football. And you need them all to come to London. Okay? If you go for a nice, easy one, bear in mind you're only allowed one player from that country. So I can only have one player from Denmark. Some would argue there's only really two you can choose from. Okay, but I can only really have one player from Denmark. I can only have one player from France. So I can't have another player from France. Okay. But I'm going to be really cheeky in here. I'm going to go for Vardy. So I put in Vardy, put in England, and I put in London. So that distance there would be 0. Okay? Because he's in the capital, we're told he's in the capital, he hasn't got to travel any distance. Okay? But you can only do that once. And the same with every single player. Can you do this on a piece of paper? So, when you've done your homework, like this, I've named my team, the Dream Team, a little bit of a smiley face, that's my logo, so this has been my badge on my shirt, a smiley face. I've put in Kasper to start with, this is my GK, Kasper is from Denmark, and it's going to be 790.6 miles for him to travel. Okay, I do that for every single player. Okay, that is part 1 of your geography lesson. Okay, I'm now going to give you a few minutes, pause it and try and write down all your players. So I think it's important you write down your players that you're thinking about so far. Okay. Brilliant. Now we're on part 2. Part 2 is all about you. Okay? And you've got to draw a picture of yourself. I've done it. Okay? And you've got to try and now go and ask your parents, your grandparents, and find out what country they were born. Okay? Because as growing up as a footballer, you can play at a different country if your parents, your grandparents, or your great-grandparents might have been born in a different country. So, I've done it for me. Some of you might just be that your grandparents, your parents, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, and again your great-great-great-grandparents were all born in England. And it means that you're just able to play for England, which is, again, would be fantastic. It might be that there's a mixture of different countries. So what I would like you to do is draw a picture like this. Stop laughing. Stop laughing. Okay? Draw a picture that looks like this. Okay? I think it's quite real. Put your name along the top. And then so my grandma was born in Germany. Okay? I and my parents were born in England. Okay? And then on my father's side, there was a great-great-grandparent who was born in Ireland. Okay? Who was Irish. So that means that I could play, if I was good enough, when I was growing up, I could have played for Germany if I'd chose. I could have played for England if I'd chose them, or I could play for Ireland. So there's a few questions there to speak to your parents, your grandparents, get them on Zoom, okay? or get them on another social site where you can have a chat with them and ask them about where they came from, where they were born. Okay? If you could fill that in, and your dream team, okay, all you've got to do is put both pages together and then ask an adult to take a photo of it and then send it to the WhatsApp number again, please. And that is your, that's you submitting your homework. So take a photo of it together, make sure your name's on it nice and clearly, send it into the WhatsApp, and then the coaches will all decide, and we'll be looking to give a prize to the person who's been the most creative, imaginative, and most importantly, have the right answers for the time it travels from one country to London, okay? And we'll be checking, okay? Good luck, and tune in tomorrow, because tomorrow is a new teacher. We've got a supply teacher, okay? We've got a new teacher tomorrow. It's Christian, I think, who's doing history. And then we've got Sam and Jacob, I think, on Friday doing some sports science, okay? Please make comments, please subscribe, give us some feedback, write to us, tell us what you think, and good luck.